One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Hello, I'm Matt Bergault, and if there's one thing I like more than movies, it's talking about my favorite movies. So here are my top 10 movies of all time.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 10 is 1992's Reservoir Dogs. While usually praised or criticized for the on-screen violence, Reservoir Dogs is much more than a violent movie. It is a powerful American gangster classic, which launched the career of writer-director Quentin Tarantino. Without this movie, Quentin wouldn't have been able to make his more famous work, like Pulp Fiction.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 9 is 2000's Memento. Directed by Christopher Nolan, Memento first came out in 2000 and blew the minds of the audiences who saw it. In the film, Leonard, brilliantly played by Guy Pearce, suffers from a brain disorder in which he can't make new memories. Leonard must live with his handicap, all while trying to seek revenge for his wife's murder. The film is unique for the way it paces the story, with half of it advancing the story while the other half going back towards the middle.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 8 is 1995's Seven. Directed by David Fincher, who went on to direct another movie on this list. Seven is about two detectives who are hot on the trail of John Doe, a serial killer who chooses his victims based on the 7 deadly sins. Like most Fincher movies, Seven is very dark and features a twist ending. It's usually not seen by...
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 7 is 1999's The Matrix. The Matrix is usually credited with bringing Hong Kong-style action, also known as wire fu, to the States. While big-name stars like Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne are attached to the film, I believe that the true performance here is Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith. The weird, kind of robotic tone of his voice fits perfectly with this villain character. While the story is a nice blend of philosophy and science fiction, the action is what drives this movie. The Matrix popularized the use of bullet time in cinema, and it also features one of the best action scenes in movie history. The scene in the lobby of the government building when they're trying to rescue Morpheus is absolutely fantastic for its use of slow motion, a camera that revolves around the action, and the aforementioned bullet time.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 6 is 1995's The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects won 2 Oscars in 1995, one for Best Original Screenplay, and Kevin Spacey won the other one for Best Supporting Actor. This film is probably most famous for its stunning climax and twist ending. Spacey's performance was truly Oscar-worthy as crippled New York conman Roger Kint. The real beauty of this movie is playing it back in your head once the twist is revealed. It really makes you think about what you just saw, and
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 5 is 1968's Once Upon a Time in the West. Once Upon a Time in the West is what Sergio Leone does best, an epic Western masterpiece. In the film, Charles Bronson plays a man out for revenge after the death of his brother. The best performance of the film, though, is easily Henry Fonda as Frank. Now, at this point in his career, Fonda had played a lot of characters, but none were as evil as Frank. Leone wanted Fonda for this specific reason. The opening scene features a family getting murdered, concluding with the death of the youngest son. The audience is shocked by these images, but they're even more shocked when Fonda reveals his face. It was a stunning turn for this once good guy. This film was also notable for it being a Western with a female as the lead. Leone didn't buy into this idea at first, but eventually the studio convinced him to do it based on how much money they thought this was going to make.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 4 is 1999's Fight Club. Also directed by David Fincher, this film stars Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. Norton is riveting as an everyman who meanders his way through a dead-end job and more or less a dead-end life. In keeping with the David Fincher tradition, this movie is very dark with some depressing imagery and also features a twist ending.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine.
Number 3 is 1942's Casablanca. When Casablanca was released in 1942, it won 3 Academy Awards, one of them being Best Picture. While still considered a great film then, it is more recently that Casablanca has received its praise. The legacy of Casablanca lives on in the films it inspired, like the aforementioned The Usual Suspects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Number 2 is 1957's 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men is just that, 12 Angry Men. There are no extras, there are no elaborate sets, it's just 12 actors in 2 rooms. And Henry Fonda leads the cast as the charismatic Juror Number 8, who eventually ends up convincing the rest of his peers that the accused is not guilty. Upon viewing this film, you can tell that all 12 actors were at their best during taping. Everyone has emotion and they really make their characters come to life.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And my number 1 film is 1994's The Shawshank Redemption. The Shawshank Redemption is my number 1 movie because it touches upon so many themes. Sure, it's a story about the triumph of the human spirit, but it's also one of integrity and friendship. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman put in perfect performances as Andy and Red. This film also launched the career of Frank Darabont, who has used his relationship with Stephen King to adapt 2 more stories, The Green Mile and The Mist. Although the ending was thrown in at the studio's request, I still consider it one of the most satisfying in cinema.